Good Tuesday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. I am glad to get to be back with you all tonight. It is a fantastic night. It's been warm. It's been cool. I don't know if you've gotten rain where you are, but it's at least acted like it throughout the county. So it's a good place to be right now where we are and getting to visit with tonight. Who we get to visit with, and it is an absolute privilege and a pleasure to get to have the coach of the Southeastern Savage Storm volleyball team on BCP Live tonight, Nicole Solum Mitchell, and she's added a hyphen and 8 more letters to her name since the last time we've had a chance to visit.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a chance to talk about that, Coach, here in just a moment.
Okay.
But first off, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, listen, I know there's a lot that's going on in the sports world, and I know that, we can talk about that maybe not, maybe a little bit later on. I want to talk about what's going on in the Southeastern volleyball world tonight and your backdrop. I don't know that we've had a better backdrop yet. There you go. Absolutely fantastic. It looks so good.
Yeah, we're so excited about it. It turned out so great. The girls have been here a few days practicing. The returners have been able to practice. So every time they get a little giddy when we come in here, when they can see it in real life. So it's been very exciting.
Well, they definitely should. Now, Seth Dutton, who, by the way, I know is watching tonight because, you're on there. Now, he watches me sometime too, I know. But because you're on there, I know he's watching tonight. He took us through, gave us one of the best tours that we could have virtually of the facility, a couple of months ago. But the Storm logo is on the wall now, and it just has a volleyball feel, even watching it online.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing that's really cool is that it's branded Southeastern Volleyball, Savage Storm Volleyball. Like, that's a very rare thing to have for a volleyball program at the Division II level. So I think we're pretty darn blessed that Southeastern has decided to put that faith in volleyball and the volleyball program here. So we're excited. The graphics look really cool. So it's just nice and bright and new and shiny, and it's like Christmas morning.
It does. It really does look bright. I mean, I've been in a number of gyms in my day. I broadcast sports, and by the way, it's been a while since I played that game, so
yeah,
get that there. But I have honestly, I have called volleyball this 2020 will be my 7th season to get to call volleyball and broadcast volleyball, on the internet and on radio as well. We've done some of that too, which, by the way, there's a challenge to call on radio is volleyball. But I've been some places, seen some things, nothing like what we're looking at right now. It is bright. I mean, it's got a great feel.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's really cool for us is that, the volleyball is right here. Our locker room is right over there. And then the addition of the turf room and the weight room right on the other side. For our girls, everything is so centrally located. Where we do our study tables is right out in the lobby area with the computer lab. So we're very centrally located with all of our activities and what we need to get done. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty cool.
Now, are those locker rooms, are those the same ones that you've had? I know that there have been a lot of updates, and are those the ones that have been there for volleyball in recent years?
I think so. Since I've been here, it's been a short amount of time, about a year. That's what's been for volleyball. But they do what needs to be done. It's a place to call home for the girls. It's a place to put those smelly knee pads when we're done with it, and some team bonding before a match. It does its job. You know what I mean? And I think it's right across the hall, right down there. So it's nice for them to be able to go back and forth. Before lifting or anything like that, after practice and in between classes, it's real convenient right there.
I know you've been in Durant for a short period of time, relatively speaking, and we're speaking right now, if you're just joining us, with the head coach of the Southeastern volleyball team. But even that, I mean, you're a sports person. I've read your bio a number of times in the time since you've come on campus. Grateful to have you at Southeastern with your experience in volleyball. But to get to play in a historic facility like Bloomer Sullivan, what's that like, even with the changes?
Yeah, I think understandably so that I feel like it was probably a hard decision to make that choice to do some construction on this area just because it's such a historic place. But, me personally, I feel blessed and lucky that volleyball gets to be the team to represent and continue on this tradition here in Bloomer Gym. I think that's just a really, really cool thing for us to kind of continue on that tradition. So I feel really kind of special that it's volleyball that gets to keep that moving. A lot of times with recruits, I'm like, do you know Dennis Rodman? I'm like, do you know? A lot of times it's parents. A lot they're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, right here. Well, so that's kind of the cool part that kind of ties that history in, and I think we're excited that it's volleyball that gets to continue that.
Well, I want to give a quick shout out. Lots of folks online tonight watching, and I know I try to call as many names as possible. I may not be able to get to everyone right now. I definitely want to get to visit with Coach Solum Mitchell for as long as we can right here. But I want to say thank you to everyone for joining in tonight. Of course, we're speaking with the head coach of Southeastern Volleyball. One of the things that you mentioned at the outset, and I know we've had some new people come in since then, so let me ask this again and just even more formally put it into question form. You're talking about the branding, and this is a purely volleyball facility now. I mean, it's not just a facility that, okay, you're doing some basketball over here and some volleyball over here. I mean, even scoreboard is set to keep sets and points and, matches like that too. This is not something that seriously, 50, 100, 150 miles, 200-mile radius. I mean, we're looking at this is very much unique to this area.
It is, especially with volleyball. Up in this area, volleyball is not necessarily so popular in the high school level. And so to have a volleyball-only gym, again, I think it speaks volumes of Southeastern and our athletic department of how much faith and belief they have in this program and what's going to happen in the years to come in this gym. It's just real exciting because there's not a lot of teams that have the volleyball only gym. Even in other regions that I've been at, other conferences, it's a kind of a rarity that it's volleyball only. So we take that with pride and we hold it in our hearts quite a bit when we're in here practicing. So it's a very cool thing.
One of the things that folks around here may or may not know is that fact that most recently you come to Southeastern from a stint in the Northern Sun Conference at Winona State, and so you're coming down from there. The central region of NCAA Division II, it's not an understatement at all to say it is the most dominant region of volleyball in all of Division II. And there was a point last season when the top 25, actually top 26 because there was a tie for 25, 14 of the top 26 teams were from the central region. Coach, you bring a lot of experience down here. What's that like then coming in and getting to share, what you've experienced?
Yeah, again, Central Region is a beast. It is a beast of a region. Like that's the easiest thing to say. But for me, I think it's the greatest because it's you're playing the best day in and day out. You know what you're getting into, and I think it's just going to be a battle every single match that you have. And I think coming from the Northern Sun to the Great American Conference, I felt that I was ready to make that jump from assistant to head coach. But being in that league had prepared me quite a bit, and so I felt very ready to come down here and make this a championship program, continue this tradition and create some culture down here and continue building some championships in the volleyball program here. And, we think we're moving in the right direction for sure. And this facility sure helps with that. So definitely excited to keep rolling with it.
Coach, I know that even with the facility being what it is, the players have to play the game, and you've got to get them out there and get them ready. And I, having dinner the other day with a couple of friends of mine, walked through, happened to look over, see you there, and you were surrounded by a number of athletes that looked like they might be playing some volleyball. Did you get some time with recruits?
We did. Yeah, we've had some recruits these past few weeks. We're operating that we're business as usual, and season is going to go on, and I'm going to need a 21 class and a 22 class and a 23 class. So recruiting never stops. So we've been real lucky to get some kids here on campus, and we've been real blessed to be able to bring them on campus during kind of all of this shutdown and stuff. We've been very lucky to get some good quality kids here on campus that want to take a look at Southeastern and the volleyball program, and lucky enough to take them for a meal. I always enjoy getting to do the preview series
for the Great American Conference, and you know, I'm wearing my hometown Savage Storm. I'm in Savage Storm gear tonight, not just GAC gear tonight, but a proud Southeastern alum getting to speak with one of the head coaches there. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, we're getting to visit with the head coach of the Southeastern volleyball team, Coach Nicole Solum Mitchell. But in light of that, you know, I always enjoy doing these preview series. I know we've had a chance to visit before, talking about teams. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to get to do those preview series or not. So let's take a little opportunity right now and talk about Southeastern. You do have some returning players that are coming back. I know you're starting to make it your team, and I understand what that is. Coming in as a new coach, you know, you have the hand you've been dealt to that point, but you're starting to make a new team. But you had some good players coming in and some good returning. Talk about your returning players.
Yeah, I have 8 returners. And so spring was a little interesting with only 8 players, at least January through March, trying to play some volleyball. But I think that was a big time of individual development, individual skill work. So we were able to do a lot with that. But we've got some good kids coming back. There's a good, solid group of them that have truly bought in to what I'm doing, and, you know, what my coaching staff and I are trying to do with, you know, the competitive culture, accountability, all those good things. But, you know, 4 seniors, I got some 4 seniors, and then the other 4 are sophomores. And so I don't have juniors returning. So it's kind of split down the middle, but I've got Caroline, Grace, Anya, and Paige are my 4 seniors. Good group of leaders. So I'm excited to get them back for their last year for sure.
You know, it's really interesting sometimes too when you get that gap in a class, and you know, you just don't have any you know, players, student athletes in a certain class, and it's interesting. You know, there's going to be a time unless you bring in a transfer, there aren't going to be any seniors then, and so it's going to be. But the positive of that, you know, you can turn around and say, yes, but we'll get this same exact team back next year. And so, you know, you can build on those things too. Well, you have 8 returners. Obviously, it's a challenge, as you mentioned, to get to even play a bit of a match out there. So I know you recruited a few more new faces coming.
Yeah, we've got 10 incoming kids. So sometimes I'm like, wait, there's so many of you now. I can't keep up. But speaking of that, filling that class, I needed to create that junior class. So that was something for me that I really looked at and getting from that junior college level. You know, down here, that's a lot more prominent down here to see junior college athletes. I think I hadn't really had that experience up north in Minnesota. So I was really kind of glad to get that experience and kind of see those kids at that level and, you know, what they want to do after coming from a 2-year. So I was able to bring in 4 juniors from a junior college, and then 6 true freshmen kind of scattered throughout Texas area. So come from really good clubs, really good high school programs. So I think they're going to be really good. It's always interesting to see the dynamic when the 2 collide, the incoming and the returners. You know, but they've been really good at connecting with one another since that incoming class has committed, and especially during quarantine and them having Zoom meetings together and doing book meetings and just trying to stay connected through social media. We had photos today and some video shoots, and so just to see their personalities kind of come together, you can start to see what the chemistry is, what our culture is going to be. So it's starting to bloom. We're excited.
Well, I like that word, culture, and I like that that's one of the first things you talked about coming, you know, even talking about the program tonight is bringing in the proper culture, and that will go a long way, I know, toward getting done what you want to get done. Lots of folks are joining in tonight. Again, thank you very much to everyone. I tried to get a lot of names. I don't think I would get everybody's name tonight. I just want to say thank you so much for being a part. One of the questions, though, I did see come in on from the chat, and this is an interesting question too. For instance, Grant High School doesn't have volleyball as a varsity program, which you know, when I was young and I grew up in Southern Oklahoma, you know, varsity volleyball really wasn't a thing around here at all. And so I know more schools are getting in. I know my 2 girls that have already graduated would have played volleyball, or at least tried to play volleyball in high school. I've got 2 daughters that are still in school that would love to play if that program were there. Well, the question is that your players that you have, do they all come from schools that have volleyball in their high school, you talked about club programs as well,
Mhm.
too. That some of them just come from places where they played club ball.
All of the incoming kids have played in high school.
Okay.
All of them, but one is from Texas. So they came from Texas schools. One played in Tulsa, went to Tulsa, and then our high school in Tulsa area, and then went to a junior college in Texas. So I have not had come through an athlete that hasn't played high school volleyball yet. I have not come across that. So it'd be interesting, I mean, whatever level they get at club, there's some great clubs around this area that they get some solid coaching and some solid plays that they get themselves out there. They definitely do. It's just harder to be exposed, I think, with that without having that high school play.
Well, I thought that was a good question too, because there aren't that many around here. Now I realize there are 4 classes: 6A, 5A, 4A, and 3A in the OSSAA do have volleyball competition. And I know I'm sure a lot more of the clubs, especially as you're getting more and more familiar with this area in southeastern Oklahoma, North Texas, all that. Edmond, Oklahoma seems to be the mecca of club volleyball, at least within this state.
Yeah, it does. It does. More up north, more towards Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Edmond. That area has some really, really solid clubs. So we've made some treks up there, or those teams have been down in Dallas that we've been able to see some of that exposure for sure. So there's some kids out there. There really are. It's trying to see if Southeastern is the right fit for them, if that's the home for them for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you look behind you, I know that has to be a great thing to be able to bring potential student athletes into and just turn on the lights and look around and say, look, you get to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And this is going to be even that much more special if you are a part of it. Well, Coach, then I just want to say thank you so much for your time tonight, because it means a lot to me that you've taken the time here also. But my goodness, as an alum, as a fan, okay, and somebody that will be at some volleyball matches this year, I'm just so excited. I think it's just so great.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you letting me be here and talk about my girls and the program and this new venue. We're pumped. We're real excited. We're very blessed, very excited. Just ready to play some other teams and ready to get in here and compete, get some W's. That's always the plan.
That's right. That is right. Well, hey, listen. Okay, now we'll wrap up the time. We were, and I'll just a programming note. And I know, Coach Baxter and I talked about this too. We were going to do the first Midwest Sports Saturday. I have another YouTube channel with some of the sports sites, and again, I broadcast sports. But anyway, we were going to do our first Midwest Sports Saturday from the venue that you are at right now on September 5th.
All right.
Obviously, those games have been hopefully just postponed. Hopefully those matches have been just postponed. But in talking with Seth, I think that we're going to find a way to do a Midwest Sports Saturday from Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium and originate there at some point in time in the very near future. So I just wanted to throw that out there and drop that for anyone watching. Please do watch, because I'm going to be very excited to get to be in the gym. Okay, then, so the schedule changed. It was going to be September 5th. If you go to the Southeastern website, go southeastern.com, and you look on the volleyball tab and you look for schedule, you'll see a lot of postponed beside games. But the first, I know it's kind of sad to think about this. The first one to look at that actually, as of now, and this can all change, seriously, all of this could change by tomorrow. We just don't know. It's all up in the air. October 1st is the first game on the schedule right now, and the countdown on the website is to October 1st. So that's what, at least tentatively, Coach, you're pushing for?
Yes, that's what we're sticking to. We're going to hold on to that hope right now. That October 1st is what we're working towards, what's in our mind, what the girls are working for, and I think that's just something that we kind of have to communicate with the girls on a daily basis. Is we are working for something, and right now that's October 1st, and so we'll keep on rolling. I gave the girls a calendar today, and I was like, heck, this could change tomorrow morning by the time I give you some, but. This is what we're going to go with right now. We kind of got to roll with the punches a little bit. So we got to be a little flexible, but fingers crossed, October 1st.
All right. A new venue, old facility, newly renovated venue, historic facility, pretty much a new team, a coach with 1 year tenure, but coming in with a new name. So, all of that. Oh, and I didn't give you a chance to say something about that really quickly. You have the on the tab at the bottom of your little window there has a little hyphen and 8 more letters at the end of that. So you got married.
I did get married. We were supposed to have our wedding May 22nd, and the world decided to shut down a little bit. So we kind of had to, we postponed it until January. But we did end up getting married. So we did get married. And my aunt's back.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is very cool. And I mean that. I'm happy for you. That is just fantastic. I got married, and my goodness, it'll be 27 years this year, but I got married on homecoming day. So there we go. I got to go watch a Southeastern football game because the time of our wedding was in the evening. And so, hey, I went to watch a Southeastern football. One of my groomsmen was one of the offensive linemen too. So we kind of worked around the football game too, but it was really to go sit in the bleachers and, well, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm going to go get married, So
not a big deal.
I've got the Southeastern tie into my wedding too. Coach, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
for being here tonight. And we will continue to promote you. And just to give a little bit of a tease, we have another Southeastern coach coming up in a couple of days. So I know, folks, that if you're watching and getting to see Coach Solum Mitchell on tonight and you're a Southeastern fan, please be sure and tune in, because a little bit later this week, we'll have another Southeastern coach on. We definitely love our Savage Storm here on BCP Live. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we really do appreciate it. I'm going to let her go ahead and go now. And maybe, I don't know if they have to shut down the lights there or whatever. They may need to leave the lights on the whole time. I don't know. I would. If I were getting to be a part of that facility, I think I'd just leave the lights on all the time and just wander around and find ways to just to play in that gym. Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium. And that is still, I believe, the official title of the gym. Oh, my goodness. It is so nice. It is so nice. So I want to, for whatever support that I have, I want to throw it just completely behind the volleyball team there and say, look, we might even organize a field trip, BCP Live field trip, and go watch a volleyball game. I think that'd be a cool idea. That just came to mind. Who knows? That'd be neat. But we definitely need to support this volleyball team and this program. Inside programming note here in the BCP Live studio, ordinarily there's one cat in with me. Right now, there's a second cat in here too. So I don't know if Dottie has been monitoring the cat situation. There's a very good chance you could get a cat cameo tonight. All right, let me see if people are still watching. Shout out. Zim, thanks for watching tonight. Mrs. Patriot watching tonight. Michelle, thank you for being on. I really appreciate you stopping by. Danny, thank you. Good question, by the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'll show that comment up there from Danny. You and Jody were the real homecoming queen and king that night. Actually, this is interesting. Just on a side note, Jody and I actually both were candidates. Well, I mean, they do the homecoming king and queen different now than they did then. But I was an escort the same time Jody was a queen candidate, and we were dating, but we were not with the same people. I don't know what that means. Anyway, just an interesting story. Grace. Hey, Grace. Southeastern volleyball player stopping by tonight too. Thank you very much. Paula, Jim, Coach Baxter, if you are still watching, thank you so much for watching tonight. Really appreciate you. Jeff Shelburne, Robert, and Jamie both on the show tonight. Jason with his incredibly cool shamrock emojis, and Brian Cooper in the house. Susan in the house. Seth, Seth, yes. I don't know if you're still watching tonight, but thank you. New facilities. We're coming. We are coming to do a show from Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium. So Miranda, thanks for watching tonight. All right. And also big shout out to Jaylee Bell, who says, hi, Granddaddy. I don't know if she's still watching tonight, but Hi, Jaylee Bell. It was great to have you at my house today. You're a wonderful and beautiful little girl. It's my grandgirl. Absolutely, my grandgirl. And she's a wonderful grandgirl, too. You know that we have a grandgirl and a grandboy. All right, Brent, thanks for joining. Daryl, I've been thinking about you the last couple of days. I've got to stop by because I have something I'd like to order. Daryl, of course, with Pro Image here in Durant. All right. Look, I think it's been a great show, and I have 3 or 4 things I could throw out along the way. I'd like to just go ahead and I want to just bring it to a halt here pretty quickly. I think we can get this one in less than half an hour. And so, yes, hey, Seth, happy to do it. Happy to get to promote Southeastern, all about that. And I definitely want to do some more promotion as we go along, because I meant what I said a couple of weeks, or was it a couple of weeks ago, last week, whenever it was. I want to say this again, and I think this needs to be pushed. So I'm going to give like a 30-second tease on this, but I am all in favor of and really, really want to get behind every eating establishment in Durant and Bryan County. Specifically Durant. Now, this one I'm going to say specifically Durant because Southeastern's in Durant, and we're talking about college town. Now, I think we can be a college county, but for college town, every eating establishment, every restaurant in Durant should have some kind of Savage Storm memorabilia, logo, something. I know that a number of them do, and to those of you who do that, props. Good for you. But we ought to go all out. We ought to go all out and definitely support our Southeastern Savage Storm. So there we go. All right. Linda, thanks for watching tonight. Appreciate that. Look, in light of what we said at the end of the conversation, I'll just wrap up the time like this. We really don't know what's going to happen with sports. I'd love to talk about that a little bit more. I'm riding a roller coaster on this. The emotions are up and down. Sometimes I think we're going to see sports this fall. Sometimes I think we're not. And it makes me sad because I do like sports, and it's not just because that's my job. And I want to throw that out there really quickly. It's not just because sports is my job that I want to see sports. There are lots of reasons I want to see sports, but today the Big Ten, postponed its football season. The Pac-12 followed suit, postponed its football season. The Big 12 just, in the last 2 or 3 hours has said, not so fast. We may not. And I think that's cool. I will say this. I'm not sure what the right decisions are on all these. Honestly, I'm still praying about it. And so I don't know what the 100% exact right decision on all of it is. I will say, though, that it is frustrating when people celebrate the cancellation of a season. I don't think that's right. Whether you mask this or that, beer bug this or that, but to celebrate when a season gets canceled, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. So and I'm just going to leave that right there. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up in half an hour. Nicole was fantastic, and she's a great person, just really nice to visit with. I thoroughly enjoy the time that I get to stop by and see her assistant coach, and just get to visit with them. I am looking forward to this season, and I know that many of you all are as well. So I just want to say, let's hope for the best. If things get postponed, they get postponed. We'll get a chance to watch our Savage Storm at some point in time very soon, and we will get to do it in the coolest facility in all of the Great American Conference. The coolest facility, Southeastern Volleyball has it, and we have it right here in our backyard. So there we go. All right, let's do this again, okay? Less than 24 hours from now. It's Wednesday night. We're going to 3 nights a week with BCP Live, and right now it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So tune in tomorrow night. We'll talk some more, and we will promote some more things. And if you are a local business that wants to support the Savage Storm, contact Seth Dutton at Southeastern. You just call Southeastern's number and say, hey, I want to speak to Seth Dutton, and they'll get you right over to Seth Dutton. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. Okay, so you just get that done. All right, listen, Love you guys. Want the best for you. And, Coach Baxter, thank you very much. Teresa, thanks for watching tonight. Look, I know I didn't get to get everybody's name tonight. I'm very sorry about that. I will try to do better on that and maybe even make it up tomorrow night. You all are the best, hands down. You are the best. You have great conversations in the chat. You're always uplifting. There's, you're not throwing down on things and being negative. You're always uplifting. You are great people, and I'm so thankful that you guys watch the show. So here we go. You haven't heard this in a while, have you? Be wise. You need to walk in wisdom. Use discretion. That's right. There are things that God's put in your path to make decisions for. So do that. And finally, do not walk in fear. No matter what happens, no matter what comes your way, there's so many uncertainties. 2020 has gone on for like 17 years now, okay? Is this year ever going to end? I heard today that there's a possibility of a shortage of Dr. Pepper in the United States. Now, that's too far, 2020. That's way too far. Do not mess with my DP. But even in light of that, do not walk in fear. I dare you. I double dog dare you. All right. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Thanks again to Coach Nicole Solum Mitchell and all of Southeastern from Unipart tonight. We'll get to talk with another coach in a couple of days.